Look at this man. Go ahead, really look at him. Pharrell Williams showed up to an event recently, and people genuinely started arguing in the comments about whether the photo was edited. It was not edited. The man is 53 years old, looks 30, and has been doing this whole refusing to age thing so consistently and for so long that the internet had to invent a word for it. They called him immortal. And honestly, after researching what he actually eats every single day, we are starting to believe them. Meet Pharrell. Born on April 5th, 1973, in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Pharrell Lancelo Williams grew up in a household that valued discipline, creativity, and church on Sunday. He was not handed anything. He built everything. By his early 20s, he had already co-founded the Neptunes, one of the most dominant production duos in music history, responsible for shaping the sound of an entire era. By his 30s, he was working with everyone from Jay-Z to Justin Timberlake to Beyoncé. By his 40s, he gave the world Happy, a song so relentlessly cheerful, it was played at every school function, office party, and wedding reception for approximately 4 consecutive years, whether people wanted it or not. No complaints though. That song genuinely works. But here's the thing about Pharrell that goes beyond the music, beyond the fashion collaborations, beyond the Louis Vuitton creative director title he now holds. The thing that keeps people talking, that keeps comment sections going absolutely haywire is his face, his body, his energy. The man performed at the Super Bowl halftime show and looked like he was having the time of his life in a way that most 25-year-olds cannot manage after a full night's sleep. There is something going on here, and it is not magic, it is not surgery, though yes, the internet has debated that too, and it is definitely not luck. Pharrell has spoken over the years in interviews about his relationship with his body, with food, with movement, and with the kind of quiet discipline that does not make headlines but absolutely makes a difference over decades. He is not the guy writing fitness books or launching supplement lines. He is just quietly living in a way that makes everyone else look at their own plate and feel slightly ashamed. So in this video, we are going to break it all down. What does Pharrell Williams actually eat every single day? What does he avoid? What does his body do in the morning before the rest of us have even found our phone chargers? And what can any person over 50 pull from his playbook and use starting today? Let us get into it. Now let us talk food. If there is one food category that appears consistently in the diets of people who seem to be aging backwards, and we have covered enough of them on this channel to notice the pattern, it is dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, arugula, the deep, dark, slightly bitter vegetables that most of us ignored as children and then slowly came to respect as adults when our knees started making noises. Pharrell has spoken about his plant-forward approach to eating, and greens are the foundation of that approach. Every single day. Not sometimes. Not when he remembers. Every day. And before you say, yes, but I already knew greens were good for you, stay with us, because the specific reasons why greens matter so much for someone in their 50s are more interesting than the general advice you have heard before. Dark leafy greens are loaded with something called dietary nitrates. Now, these are not the synthetic nitrates you find in processed deli meat. Those are a different story entirely, and not a good one. Natural vegetable nitrates are converted in the body into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels, improves blood flow, and lowers blood pressure. Think of it as your body's own internal plumbing upgrade. As we age, nitric oxide production declines naturally, which is one reason cardiovascular disease risk rises after 50. Eating greens daily helps offset that decline. This is not a supplement commercial, this is just biology. Greens are also packed with folate, vitamin K, magnesium, and a cluster of antioxidants including lutein and zeaxanthin that protect the eyes and the brain. Magnesium alone is doing about 17 jobs in the human body at any given moment, including helping regulate sleep, reducing anxiety, and supporting muscle recovery. Most people over 50 are quietly deficient in magnesium without knowing it. A daily serving of spinach or kale starts closing that gap without requiring a single pill. And then there is the anti-inflammatory effect. Chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, which is a real scientific term and not something we made up, is one of the primary drivers of accelerated aging. It quietly damages tissues, stiffens joints, clouds thinking, and contributes to nearly every major chronic disease. The phytonutrients in dark leafy greens directly suppress inflammatory pathways in the body. They are not flashy about it. They just show up every day and do the work. Kind of like Pharrell himself. The practical takeaway here is simple. A big handful of spinach in a smoothie, kale sautéed with garlic as a side, collard greens cooked low and slow the way they were meant to be cooked. Any of these daily starts producing results you can actually feel within weeks. Pharrell has been doing this for years. Do the math on what that looks like inside a body at 53. Food 2, wild-caught fish. Here is a food that Pharrell reaches for so consistently it might as well have its own reserved seat at his table. Wild-caught fish, specifically salmon and sea bass, is not just a meal for him. It is a strategy. And when you look at what wild-caught fish actually does inside the human body, you start to understand why people who eat it regularly tend to look and move and think differently from people who do not. The headline nutrient here is omega-3 fatty acids. You have heard about omega-3s, but let us talk about what they specifically do for someone trying to hold back the clock at 50 plus. First, they reduce systemic inflammation. We already touched on inflammaging and why it accelerates everything you are trying to slow down. Omega-3s are among the most powerful dietary tools for suppressing that inflammatory response. They work at the cellular level, essentially turning down the volume on the chemical signals your body uses to create inflammation. Second, omega-3s have a profound effect on skin. They maintain the integrity of cell membranes, which keeps skin hydrated, plump, and elastic from the inside out. No topical cream on earth does what a consistent supply of dietary omega-3s does for the structure of your skin at a cellular level. When people look at Pharrell's skin and start typing conspiracy theories into comment boxes, part of the answer, a genuinely boring, scientifically supported part of the answer, is fish. Third, omega-3s support brain health in ways that become increasingly important with age. They are a primary structural component of the brain itself. DHA, one of the main omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, helps maintain the speed and efficiency of communication between brain cells. Less brain fog, sharper recall, better mood regulation. Pharrell's creativity is legendary, and while we are not going to claim salmon is responsible for producing grindin' or happy, we will say that a well-nourished brain is a more capable brain. Wild-caught specifically matters here. Farm-raised fish can have significantly lower omega-3 content and higher levels of inflammatory omega-6 fats, depending on what the fish were fed. Pharrell is not randomly grabbing whatever is on offer. When you are this intentional about your body, the details matter. Portion size stays moderate. Think of a piece roughly the size of your palm, cooked simply, grilled, baked, or steamed, without heavy sauces that introduce sugar or excess sodium. 2 to 3 times a week minimum. This is not complicated food. It is just consistent, deliberate, deeply intelligent food. Food 3, fresh fruit, especially berries and watermelon. Now here's where Pharrell gets a little poetic about his eating. And honestly, we respect it. He does not treat fruit like a dessert or a guilty pleasure or a sugar problem. He treats it like a daily ritual, a way of flooding his body with color and hydration and something that tastes genuinely good without requiring any compromise whatsoever. Berries are the headliner. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, all of them bring something different to the table, but they share a common thread, which is a phenomenally high concentration of antioxidants called flavonoids. These compounds do something remarkable when they enter the bloodstream. They neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules produced by everything from sun exposure to exercise to just existing in the modern world that would otherwise cause oxidative damage to cells. Oxidative stress is one of the primary biological mechanisms of aging. You cannot eliminate it entirely, but you can significantly reduce it, and you do that in part by eating berries every single day. Blueberries specifically have been shown in research to improve memory and cognitive function in older adults. They also reduce blood pressure, support gut bacteria diversity, and contain compounds that may protect DNA from damage. A small bowl of blueberries is quietly doing more work than most people's entire supplement cabinet. And then there is watermelon. Pharrell has referenced watermelon specifically in conversations about his diet, and it is not just because it is delicious, though it is, obviously, it is watermelon. Watermelon is one of the richest dietary sources of lycopene, a carotenoid antioxidant that is particularly powerful at protecting skin from UV damage and supporting cardiovascular health. It is also 92% water, which means eating it contributes meaningfully to daily hydration. Hydration and skin quality are inseparable. When your cells are properly hydrated, Everything works better: digestion, energy, skin elasticity, even mood. Pharrell is not counting grams of sugar in his fruit and stressing about fructose. He is eating whole fruit as nature packaged it, complete with fiber that slows sugar absorption and a suite of micronutrients that refined foods simply cannot replicate. This is an important distinction. The fruit conversation gets muddled online by people conflating whole fruit with fruit juice or added sugars. They are not the same thing, not even close. Whole fruit, eaten daily, is one of the most straightforward investments you can make in how you look and feel at 50 plus. Food 4, nuts and seeds. Let us take a moment to appreciate the humble nut. Almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, hemp seeds, flax seeds. These are the foods that polite society has somehow managed to reduce to a small plastic bag in an airport gift shop next to the overpriced phone chargers. They deserve better treatment than that, and so does your body. Pharrell snacks on nuts and seeds consistently throughout his day, and this is not accidental. Nuts are one of the most nutrient-dense foods that exist, which means you get an extraordinary amount of nutritional value per calorie. Healthy fats, plant-based protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and a collection of bioactive compounds that researchers are still actively studying because there is apparently a lot going on inside a walnut that science has not finished unpacking yet. Walnuts specifically are the standout for brain health. They are shaped like a brain, which is either the universe being obvious or a remarkable coincidence depending on your perspective. More relevantly, they are one of the few plant foods that contain ALA, a form of omega-3 fatty acid. They are also rich in polyphenols that have been shown to reduce oxidative stress in the brain and improve cognitive performance. For someone like Pharrell, whose entire career is built on creativity and mental agility, keeping the brain well-fed is not a luxury, it is a professional requirement. Almonds bring vitamin E to the table, which is one of the most important fat-soluble antioxidants for skin health. Vitamin E works synergistically with vitamin C, which Pharrell is getting from his berries and greens, to protect cell membranes and support collagen integrity. Collagen is the structural protein that keeps skin firm. It declines with age. Eating foods that support its production and protect it from breakdown is one of the most evidence-based things you can do for how you look in your 50s. Brazil nuts deserve their own sentence because of selenium. Just 2 or 3 Brazil nuts per day provides more than your full daily requirement of selenium, a trace mineral that supports thyroid function, DNA repair, and the body's own antioxidant enzyme systems. Most people are not getting enough selenium. Brazil nuts fix that problem in about 20 seconds of snacking. Hemp seeds are the quiet achievers in this category. A few tablespoons stirred into a smoothie or sprinkled over a meal delivers complete protein, meaning all 9 essential amino acids, plus a near-perfect ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids and a solid dose of magnesium. For a plant-forward eater like Pharrell, hemp seeds are the kind of simple addition that quietly fills multiple nutritional gaps at once. A small handful of mixed nuts, a sprinkle of seeds over breakfast or lunch. This is not complicated. It does not require preparation or cooking or personal chef. It requires a jar on the counter and the decision to grab it instead of something that comes in a wrapper with a cartoon mascot on the front. Food 5, herbal teas and infusions. This one surprises people because we tend not to think of what we drink as food. But Pharrell has consistently talked about his relationship with herbal teas and infusions as a cornerstone of his daily routine. And when you understand the bioactive compounds you can deliver to your body through liquid, it starts making a great deal of sense. Green tea is where this conversation starts. Pharrell drinks it regularly, and green tea might be the most well-researched longevity beverage on the planet. The active compounds in green tea, particularly a catechin called EGCG, are extraordinarily potent antioxidants. They cross the blood-brain barrier, reduce inflammation, support fat metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, and have been associated in large population studies with lower rates of heart disease, stroke, and certain cancers. Populations that drink green tea consistently and in meaningful quantities tend to live longer and maintain better health into old age. That is not marketing, that is epidemiology. Beyond the antioxidant effects, green tea contains an amino acid called L-theanine that produces a state of calm, focused alertness. Not the jittery, heart-racing alertness you get from 4 espressos and a prayer. A smooth, clear-headed, productive alertness that pairs beautifully with the modest amount of caffeine in green tea. For someone managing the creative demands and professional pressures that Pharrell navigates daily, this combination is genuinely useful. Then there is ginger. Pharrell uses ginger regularly in teas and infusions, and ginger is one of those foods that seems almost too simple to be doing what it is actually doing. Gingerol, the main bioactive compound in fresh ginger, is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It supports digestive health, reduces muscle soreness, and lowers inflammatory markers in the blood. For anyone over 50 managing joint discomfort or the slower recovery that comes with age, ginger is worth taking seriously. Turmeric blended into warm water with black pepper. The pepper being critical because it increases the absorption of curcumin, turmeric's active compound, by up to 1900%, which is an almost absurd number, is another infusion that shows up in Pharrell's routine. Curcumin is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory compounds in existence. The research base is enormous. The practical effect for a 53-year-old body is real and measurable. Hydration itself is worth noting here. By drinking multiple cups of herbal teas and infusions throughout the day, Pharrell is keeping his body consistently hydrated in a way that plain water consumption alone often does not achieve for people who forget to drink enough. Hydration affects every single system in the body: skin, digestion, brain function, joint lubrication, temperature regulation. If someone told you there was one free side effect-free thing you could do daily that improved all of those systems simultaneously, you would do it. That thing is drinking enough fluid. Pharrell just makes his fluid interesting. 3 foods Pharrell avoids at all cost. Every person with a genuinely clean diet has a short list of things they do not touch. Not because they are afraid of food, not because they have anxiety around eating, but because they have been clean long enough to feel the difference when something that does not belong enters their system. Pharrell's list is pretty clear. Number 1, processed and packaged food. Pharrell has been on record about his distaste for anything that comes heavily processed. And look, we understand the appeal of convenience food. We have all eaten something from a vending machine at 11 o'clock at night and felt both satisfied and vaguely regretful simultaneously. But processed foods are engineered to override your body's natural satiety signals. They are loaded with sodium that causes water retention and raises blood pressure. And they contain preservatives and additives that your digestive system was never designed to handle at the quantities modern diets deliver them. The inflammation response they trigger is consistent and cumulative. Pharrell removed them. His body said, "Thank you," in the most visible way possible. 2, refined sugar. This one is genuinely difficult for most people because refined sugar is in approximately everything that did not grow out of the ground. But the effects of excess refined sugar on aging are well documented and genuinely alarming. There is a process called glycation, in which sugar molecules bond to proteins in the body, including collagen and elastin, the very proteins responsible for skin firmness and elasticity, and damage them permanently. The byproducts of this process are called advanced glycation end products, which researchers have given the acronym AGEs, which feels like the universe making its position extremely clear. Pharrell gets his sweetness from fruit. His skin gets the results. 3, dairy. Pharrell follows a largely plant-forward diet and has moved away from dairy products. The science on dairy and aging is more nuanced than the refined sugar conversation, but for many people, dairy triggers an inflammatory response, disrupts gut bacteria balance, and contributes to congestion and skin issues. Pharrell's complexion, clear, even, and apparently impervious to the passage of time, is partly a reflection of what he has removed, not just what he has added. This is a point worth sitting with. Subtraction is as powerful as addition when it comes to diet. Pharrell's daily routine and workout philosophy. The food is the foundation, but it does not stand alone. Pharrell's approach to his body is holistic in the truest sense. Everything connects, everything contributes, and nothing happens in isolation. So let us walk through how his day actually tends to move. He is an early riser. Not 4 in the morning necessarily. He is not trying to outwork the sunrise the way some fitness personalities seem committed to doing, but he is up early and intentional about the first hour of his day. That first hour is quiet. Gratitude, which for Pharrell is deeply spiritual and not just a journaling exercise, comes first. He has spoken repeatedly in interviews about his faith and about approaching each day with genuine thankfulness, and this is not just good for the soul. Research on gratitude practices shows measurable reductions in cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Chronically elevated cortisol accelerates cellular aging, degrades muscle tissue, and disrupts sleep. Starting the day with a gratitude practice is, among other things, an anti-aging intervention, a free one. Hydration comes early. Before food, before caffeine, water. Sometimes with lemon, sometimes with a pinch of sea salt for minerals. The body wakes up in a mildly dehydrated state after several hours without fluid, and rehydrating before anything else sets the digestive and metabolic systems up to function properly from the start. Movement is daily, but it is not punishing. This is a crucial distinction. Pharrell does not speak about exercise like a bodybuilder chasing a number on a scale or a percentage on a body composition report. He moves because he loves how it makes him feel. He dances, genuinely and professionally, and with an energy that is frankly exhausting to watch because he never seems to get tired. He does yoga, he incorporates body weight exercises, functional movements that train his body to move well in space rather than just to look impressive. He swims, he walks. The variety keeps it interesting and the body responding. When he lifts with moderate weight and precise form, agility and functionality over raw mass. A 53-year-old body that moves freely, recovers quickly, and never gets injured is worth more than one that can lift an impressive number once before spending 3 weeks nursing a shoulder. He protects his sleep the way some people protect a business investment. And that is exactly what it is. Sleep is when the body repairs itself, when human growth hormone is released, when cellular cleanup processes run, when memories consolidate and emotional regulation restores. Pharrell understands that no amount of good food or clever exercise offsets consistently poor sleep. He goes to bed at a regular time. He creates conditions for sleep, dark, cool, quiet. He treats rest as a performance tool, not a sign of laziness. Creativity itself is part of his wellness. This sounds unconventional, but there is genuine science behind the idea that engaged, purposeful creative work reduces stress hormones, activates the brain's reward circuitry, and contributes to a sense of meaning that correlates strongly with longer health span. Pharrell has never stopped creating. He has never coasted. He has never phoned it in. And that constant, purposeful engagement with his craft is itself a form of keeping the mind young. 4 rules any person over 50 can steal. We have covered a lot of ground. Let us bring it home with 4 rules pulled directly from how Pharrell actually lives, distilled into something any person over 50 can pick up and use starting tomorrow. No equipment required, no personal chef needed, no celebrity budget necessary. 1. Eat color every single day, without exception. Dark greens, deep berries, bright orange and red vegetables, purple foods. The color in plant foods is created by the very compounds, the flavonoids, carotenoids, and polyphenols that do the anti-inflammatory and antioxidant work inside your body. If your plate is beige, your body is not getting what it needs to push back against aging. Make your plate look like a sunset, and you are most of the way there. Pharrell does not eat beige meals. Neither should you. 2. Replace. Do not just remove. One of the reasons people fail at cleaning up their diet is that they focus entirely on what they are giving up. No more sugar, no more processed food, no more dairy. That is a miserable way to approach change, and it rarely sticks. Pharrell's approach, consciously or not, has been to replace. Refined sugar gets replaced by whole fruit. Processed snacks get replaced by nuts and seeds. Soda gets replaced by herbal tea. The feeling of abundance stays. The inflammatory damage goes. This is a sustainable model. 3. Move every day, but make it something you would choose. There is no gym routine in the world that works if you dread it enough to quit it 3 weeks in. Pharrell dances. He does yoga. He swims. He walks. None of these require a membership card or a subscription. What they require is the decision to move your body every day as a non-negotiable, and then the freedom to choose how. Find what you would actually do if nobody was watching. Do that. Do it daily. Your joints, your cardiovascular system, your brain, and your waistline will all respond. 4. Protect the unglamorous fundamentals. Sleep, hydration, stress management. These are not exciting topics. Nobody is making viral content about going to bed at the same time every night. But these 3 fundamentals, consistent sleep, adequate hydration, and some form of daily stress reduction, whether that is meditation or prayer or a walk outside or 10 minutes of breathing, are the invisible scaffolding underneath every visible result. Pharrell's skin, energy, and body composition do not exist in a vacuum. They exist because of decades of consistent attention to things most people skip, because they do not feel urgent. They are urgent They are just quiet about it. So there you have it. Pharrell Williams at 53, looking the way he looks, moving the way he moves, creating the way he creates, not because of magic, not because of genetics alone, and not because of any secret that requires a celebrity budget to access. Dark leafy greens, wild-caught fish, fresh fruit, nuts and seeds, and herbal teas. 5 foods eaten consistently as part of a life built on intentional choices made day after day for decades. He is not the first person we have profiled on this channel who turned out to have an almost boring explanation for something that looks miraculous from the outside, but he might be the most stylish one. And honestly, if looking like Pharrell Williams at 53 is the end result of eating more spinach and swapping soda for green tea, we think most of us can find a way to make that trade.